Okay, so welcome again to the KubeVela community meeting. The idea of this type of meeting, for those of you who are new, is to share information about the project, talk with contributors, talk with users of the platform, put the idea that you have for the project, doubts, things that can happen, or talk about the roadmap. So in that sense, it's pretty open. If anybody is actually willing to share some further ideas or some presentation of how they are using the project or things like that, we are also open for this type of content to be put in a collaboration form of somebody presenting to the others, like how they are using the project or integrations or things like that. So that's the whole idea of the meeting. For today's meeting, I will love to comment on two particular issues that I think are meaningful at this point. Uh, in the general news section, let's say, um, as you may already know from other community meetings, the maintainer community of the project is switching jobs. Life is happening. So we are, I think, now reaching the point where we can start spending again some further hours into the project. So I think there will be some new code coming soon. And that's like the general state of the project. We are coordinating in terms of maintainers about the near roadmap, let's say, which is focused on fixing bug, general reliability issues on the KubeVela project. And once we reach the point that we can start getting new features out of the door, we will as soon as we can. So that's the general update of the project. I don't know, Anup, you want to share anything else in this aspect?
No, that's pretty much it. And apart from that, I think I've mentioned before. Now we have a couple of actually 3 or 4 people working out of India who's going to help in this project as well. So yeah, it'll take some time, but I think it's kicking off in the right direction.
Yeah, those are awesome news. Okay, so if no one has anything else to share, let me share my screen and let's check a couple of issues that I think are on the top now, or things that are happening recently. Well, this is the document. Please add yourselves to attendee list. We usually do this. It's just for then being able also to track this for the CNCF and so on. So in terms of issues of things that are going on, I would love to comment a little bit on 6497, which is about the inability to use Vela install to deploy KubeVela in a cluster running 129. Basically, the issue here is that if you follow the guidelines that are currently on the documentation, which is let's say, the most easy way to deploy KubeVela, which is just get the CLI, the CLI, and then just execute Vela install. There is something going on and it's not working as expected. I was able to confirm this on different clusters, different installations. Just as a general, well, it's here basically is, sorry for the scroll. It's just the controller, once it's deployed, is complaining about the inability to reconcile with different entities that it cannot find on the system. This can be reproduced right now. We need to fix it. But if you have this type of issue, the bypass for now, the workaround is to use the Helm installation. If you do this, the clusters that are affected with Vela install, which are, I tried these versions to try to see which is the range of affected clusters, can be, I mean, you can install KubeVela still using the Helm installation. So if anybody else finds this type of issue while this is being worked on and solved, you can bypass this. I will try to spend some time on these tickets because I I mean, I didn't add this particular code to the Vela install, but I track it and debug it once before. So I think I can find easily what is going on. So I will probably assign this task to myself and work on that in the near future. And the other thing that I think is important to talk on is 6493, which was opened by Paul like a couple of weeks ago. This is an issue that I think there are already some maintainers working on this, but we need to further coordinate on that to see like which is the latest status on this. This is about an issue that happened when you upgrade for version 199 to 1910. And basically, this is like the usual upgrade process. There were some issues with the reconciliation because there were kind of a mismatch in between what the new version was trying to find and what is on the cluster. So this has been tracked. I think Fog is working on following on this. I need to coordinate, as I said before. There are a couple of issues that may be related. I added some changes in the past because one of the things that we need to prepare also is to upgrade the Golang version that we are using to build the binaries. So I fixed some issues. Maybe one of those fixes has introduced something that prevents this automatic upgrade. We need to check that out. And there was also another commit that introduces new versioning on the clients and things like that. There was also probably a potential cause for this. So, as I said, I think we need to track this. Well, actually, Jambo put something yesterday. So it's been tracked at least. So we hopefully solve this as soon as possible. But just to have some comments on this. Okay. And I don't know if anybody else wants to add anything to any of those particular issues. Probably I went too far away talking by myself.
Hey Daniel, do you know if we removed the version from the repository, or is it still the release is still there? If it's not
I think the
working,
release is still there because my understanding is that it only happens if you go through the upgrade path. But I was
okay.
able to deploy applications with the new release itself, like because I actually installed the latest release when I work on the other issue, when I was trying to reproduce it, and I was able to deploy applications on that. So I think it's related to changes in how we store information on the application versioning in between versions.
Yeah, something to do with the resource tracking, I believe. But okay, thank you.
But I say I think Fog was looking at it on detail.
Got it.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody else wants to talk about anything else. As I said, like near roadmap for the project is stability, bug fixing until we stabilize the maintainers or their lives, better said. As Anup said, there are new people also coming to help with the maintainability of the project. So I think it's just a slowdown for life happening, and we'll convene after that. Okay, so yeah, if nobody else has anything to add or anything that they want to share, we can close the meeting. It's probably one of the smallest one, shortest one. But
I have one update, Daniel. I mean, looks like
yeah,
our security folks were finding some issues, which we need to verify. Once verified, I'll
okay,
probably start working on those and then report it in the issues, just to
okay,
make sure. And then yeah, we'll contribute a fix as well.
okay, cool. Okay. Okay, you need any help, just contact me directly also, as always.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, that's the current focus. Okay, let's try to fix the bugs that are preventing new users to use the Vela installation using the CLI, I think we bypass this because most of us have typically use probably the Helm approach or a rendered Helm approach, things like that to install the clusters. But yeah, and another news, I'm having issues receiving notifications from Slack. So apologies if I am being slow also on answering questions and things like that, because I'm having a harder time receiving notifications. So I will try to fix that. Okay, guys. So
Thank you, Daniel.
thanks again for attending the community meeting. I will upload this video to YouTube as usual. And if anybody else wants to comment anything on the site, just contact me directly through the Slack on the KubeVela channel, and we can talk about anything. Okay?
Hey guys, sorry, Rahul here. I have just a couple of small updates. So we are also planning to look at the Vela CLI installation issue sometime in the next week, and if we find something interesting, we'll let you know, Daniel.
Okay.
And the topic that had come up in our internal meetings was regarding the input validation that happens when we apply an application. So what we are seeing currently is if in a suppose, like again, I haven't had time to I have been informed of the issue. By any chance, Lena, are you in the meeting? All right. So
I am. Sorry, took a second to unmute.
okay, so yeah, since you're here, can you elaborate on the input validation issue?
Yes. So as we've been building a component definition recently, we were using Q to put some constraints on the values of the parameters that are supplied to the component definition. And we had an expectation that when invalid inputs that don't match those constraints were passed to the component in an application, that KubeVela would immediately reject those since they don't match validation constraints. And that is not what we observed. What we ended up seeing was some sort of cryptic Q errors as it was trying to apply the output. And those would not be very useful to our users. We'd also like it to fail faster than that.
So you mean like failing when you actually apply the application, right? Not where you render it. Okay.
Ideally, it would fail immediately when invalid configuration is given to the component.
Okay. Okay, I understand. I need to check that out with other people that are more involved into that aspect. I don't know if because the thing that you are seeing is that you are getting the error from the controller, which is the one like translated the already created entity in Kubernetes into something deployable potentially. But this is more related to having a hook basically to intercept the entity before it's being created actually. I need to look into that. But if you can open a ticket also to be able to track this, because maybe I think this is more, it will be an improvement. I don't know if it is a bug because I don't think there is this channel implemented yet, but I need to check that out.
Yeah, I would agree. It's just a feature that we don't have yet, but it is a pretty important one since at this point our users would have to come straight to us to try and debug if they set some incorrect value.
Yeah, I completely agree with you that will be pretty nice. We have also issues in the past on another aspect of people mismatching like the indentation of fields and things like that. And you get this ignored instead of being invalid and things like that. So I think this is a topic of that could be very helpful for final users. So
Elena, is it a blocker for us? Couldn't we just use a validating webhook or something for the time being?
We could, but I think that's actually a pretty complex solution to the problem because we would need to implement some validating webhook for every component, and it would be intercepting every apply of the KubeVela application.
Understood. Understood. Okay.
For now, I think we'll just go off of having good documentation and a little bit of hand holding, but we would like the feature to be in KubeVela.
Fair. Like Daniel said, let's open a ticket and that way GitHub issue, and then at least we can have the conversation around it.
Yeah.
I have started looking into the code side of things. I am planning to figure that out, at least where we can do this and what the limitations are currently. And once I'm ready, I can open the ticket if that's all right with you, Lena.
Yes, that would be great. Thank you, Rahul.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Okay, so yeah, you can open the ticket. We can also put it as a discussion for next meeting. So we can also comment on the potential approaches or solutions and things like that.
Great.
Right.
Okay, anything else from anyone? Okay, guys. So thanks again for attending the meeting. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one.
Thanks a lot, Daniel.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.